tendency to want to wait till that perfect moment where you can create something just so perfect that you don't want to start working on it until you've got all the tools, all the knowledge, all the skill that you need to create it the absolute best you possibly can. Waiting until you feel ready or you feel like the stars align, you've got all the skills and you're ready to go is only going to hold you back. You need to start now with whatever you've got, the tools you've got, the skills you've got, the knowledge you've got. You need to make mistakes, make messes, make bad designs. I find that the only way to truly create something amazing is to first make mistakes, make bloopers, stuff up. You don't need to be a design creative superstar where every time you put pen to paper, you create brilliance. In fact, the brilliant work comes when you first let go, when you first just make the mistakes, get all the bad ideas out of your head, and then the good stuff is going to start coming. Expecting yourself to create brilliance straight away is putting on too much pressure, and you're not going to create as good a work as if you first let yourself go and let yourself make the mistakes. Brilliance doesn't happen on the first try, and a lot of people might get the impression that it does. They might see these amazing creatives and see their process and think, wow, they just created this amazing work straight away. But you don't always see what goes on behind the scenes before that. All the practice runs, all the first attempts, all the mistakes and stuff-ups that they made before they got to the good work. Personally, I find that often you need to get the bad stuff out of your system to get yourself rolling, to get yourself in that momentum of creating better work. And also, sometimes you've got some ideas that you're not sure if they'll work or not. And by giving yourself the freedom to just let go and make mistakes and, create bad work first, you're getting it out of your system. And those bad ideas might actually lead to even better, more brilliant ideas. But if you don't let yourself first do that, then you might end up with, pretty bland but good design work. But if you let yourself make those mistakes, that's when you could create really incredible work because you're exploring. And this doesn't mean that you have to show everyone else all your mistakes. You can show your best work off, and you might occasionally want to show off the process or some stuff ups because that helps people connect with you and see, the process behind it. But if something just is terrible, you don't feel like you have to share it all the time. And if you're doing client work where someone's paying you to do some work, don't feel like you have to show every single idea you came up with. Curate it, think it through. Start by making the mistake, start by getting creative and crazy, and then hone it down until you get some really good concepts to show your client. If you're presenting more than one idea to them, then consider which ones are you actually proud of to share, because you don't want them to pick one that you don't actually like. So actually go through that process and make all the mistakes and stuff ups, but then present the best. Terrible ideas and bad designs is actually part of a cycle. Basically, when you're creative, what you need to be doing is taking action and listening and keep that loop going. So it's about letting go of that fear of failure, but instead just getting on with the work, and as you go, you listen. So what I mean by this is just start taking action. You come up with an idea, you start working on it, and as you're working on it, listen. Listen to feedback, listen to experts, listen to your gut instinct, listen to your audience, listen to analytics. Don't just blindly do work, then put it out there and be like, oh well, it's the best I could do right now. But instead, it's all this cycle, constant cycle that you're building this momentum. So you're sort of spiraling upwards to doing better and better work. So you keep having an idea, taking action on it, listening, tweaking it, taking some more action, more ideas, listening, and you just keep going round and round, and you go up and up, and your work is going to get better and better because of it. So the idea is that you don't simply want to consume and be listening and then be like, okay, I'm ready now, I'll create. You're actually taking the action first, and you're not taking the action, then listening, taking new action, but it's sort of in tangent, it's sort of all together. So as you're taking action, you're listening, you're seeing what's going on, you're noticing trends, you're noticing the things your audience is saying, you're putting a little bit out there and you're listening to the feedback of it. Then you're going, they didn't really like that bit, I'll tweak that a bit. And then you're listening to your gut instinct and thinking, that doesn't quite sit right with me, I think I'm going to change this here. So It's this constant process, and that's why it's so important that you're taking action, because if you don't take the action, then you're not going to get the right kind of feedback back. You're just listening to what people are putting out there that's more general stuff, but when you're actually taking action while you're listening, you're seeing how you can apply it to what you're working on. Every single piece of work you create is not going to be perfect straight up. It's going to start off with scribbles, random notes, messes, ideas that aren't going to work. You need to experiment, try new things, and get messy. Feel free to play with crazy and silly ideas. Just put it out there, let it out of your mind, get it out of your system, because you never know where it could lead you. Get messy, make mistakes, and take some action. Because remember, you're not going to find the gold if you don't start digging in the dirt first. So keep creating and live what you love. And if you want to learn more about creativity, branding, and graphic design, then be sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time.